Big news out of the Big Apple with the New York Knicks. New rules for the Boston Marathon to make the event safer and prevent another episode of what happened last year. And some World Cup chatter out of host country Brazil. All coming at you in the Roundtable.
Live from
Welcome to the round.
This is the Roundtable.
Underwriting for the Roundtable is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, New York Pizza and Pasta, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, located
Welcome to the
in
Roundtable.
Adams
I'm your host,
Residence
Zach
Hall.
Sepanik. Another Friday, live on OU TV and streaming on YouTube. And guys, it's the fourth Friday we've done this, and I had to be told that before the show because I'm having so much fun with you guys.
Oh, that's
Zach.
cute.
Let's go ahead and meet
Cute.
the panel, starting with Brett Coppenbarger.
Hello, Zach. You look very delightful this evening.
Moving on to Mason Prince.
Let me tell you, Zach, it's hard for me to be the second best looking guy on this panel. You know, that's you, man. You're looking great. Is that a new tie? Text me. All right.
Moving on, Matt McCullock.
Zach, I gotta know, did it hurt whenever you fell from heaven? Tell me. Be real. Be real.
And finally, Kate Sandoval is back for another appearance.
Zach, thank you so much for that map this morning. I was just getting lost in your eyes.
Oh my God. Well, let's get things started with
he
segment
doesn't
one.
care.
No, he doesn't care.
Whatever.
Brought to you by Raising Cane's. The Kansas men's basketball team wrapped up the Big 12 regular season title on Monday with a win over the Oklahoma Sooners. Coppenbarger, will KU also win the Big 12 tournament? If you say yes, does that make them a number one seed in the Big Dance?
It's hard to say if they're going to win the tournament, but they are the best team in the Big 12. But the Big 12 is so good. Look at a team like Texas Tech come into Norman and put it on the Sooners earlier this year. And Kansas has the duo Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid. Both are going to be top 3 picks in the NBA draft. Then throw in Wayne Selden Jr. He's really good. Wiggins was actually named a finalist for the Naismith Trophy today. And, okay, I'm going to say it. Lon Kruger's a great coach, but on Monday when KU and OU played, he got outcoached by Bill Self, and it was hard to watch. Okay, he was the well, reason we lost the game. Let me say that. Okay. Kansas is the best team in the Big 12, and they've proven that. In their 13 Big 12 wins, they're winning by an average score of 82 to 68. They're just dominating the field right now. They're playing very, very well. I will say this, tournament time rolls around. If the Sooners get a shot at them, I think they have their number. I think that OU has their number. Third time's a charm, as they do say. Matt, over to you.
Thanks, Mason. Appreciate that. You know, for me, it's hard to go against past history. KU has won 9 Big 12 championships, and in 6 of those, they were the number 1 seed in the Big 12. So, I mean, they've shown that they can do it right. They're 9-1, so they've had 10 overall. They've only lost the Big 12 championship in 1 appearance that they've had. So it's kind of hard to go against them, and they're playing really good basketball too right now. So I think that, yeah, you gotta say yes, they're gonna win. They're the Big 12.
I think Kansas is going to play for the Big 12 title, but in order to win it, they're going to have to rip it away from the Oklahoma Sooners. You guys, this
Nice.
team really does have the potential to win. I mean, their team is stacked. You've got Buddy Hield, who's averaging over 16 points a game. You've got Cam Clark, stellar
They're getting it done
senior
everywhere.
season.
Everywhere.
The bench is deep. You've got
Yeah.
Frank Booker, Tyler Neal. They're
Yeah.
deadly from behind three-point range. Isaiah
Isaiah.
Cousins.
Words are hard.
Yeah,
Words are hard. You got this.
Okay.
You
He's
got this.
averaging double figures this season. I mean, OU, I think, is going to probably go undefeated the rest of the season. They have a really tough game against Texas, but it's at home.
Yep.
So I think
Smart.
they can win
Senior
that.
night.
I like
Senior
Matt
night.
McCulloch's answer, though. He's talking
Whoa.
about a dynasty in
Whoa.
Kansas.
What?
Matt
With
gets
how many
ooh,
times
ooh,
they've
ooh.
won the Big
Matt
12,
gets a point.
and Matt McCulloch is starting the points
Happy birthday,
early.
Oh, my
Shouts.
goodness.
On Tuesday, the Wichita State Shockers made college basketball history, becoming the first team to ever start the regular season 30-0. Prince, is this significant, and does it mean anything if they don't have a deep run in the NCAA tournament?
Brett, how could you say it's not? Of course it means something. I mean, did you hear Brett? Yeah, he was just saying it doesn't. He did it. I'm lying. But JK. Okay, everyone's going to want to knock them off. That's how important this is. I mean, they have not allowed a team to score over 75 points in a game. That's really good defense, and they play very good team basketball. They're going to be a 1 seed, and I think that they have a chance to go to the Final Four and maybe a shot at a national title. I am very confident in my pick in this team. They're great. I picked them to be the last undefeated team, so go ahead, Matt.
Hey, thank you, Mason.
go
Appreciate
ahead.
that.
No problem.
Obviously, yes, it's significant, but is it overly impressive? No, not to me at least. They play in a very cupcake conference right now. Okay, their biggest win is against St. Louis, whenever St. Louis was unranked. St. Louis's biggest win of their season was against an unranked VCU. Come on, that's not really that good. Their strength of schedule, they're 115th in the nation in strength of schedule. So obviously, they're not playing hard teams week in and week out, which makes it really impressive whenever an SEC team wins, maybe drops 2 games, or even a Big East team. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
rest in peace, Big East.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I agree with Matt. They're in a bit of a cupcake conference. They haven't played anybody in the top 25.
Yeah.
But this team is for real. They are really good. Let's not forget last year they made a run in the Final Four. They were up against Louisville by 12 points, who ended up winning it all. This team's for real, and I think it's a really big deal that they're undefeated, and I think they're going to go undefeated the rest of the season.
Wow.
This is very significant, and let me tell you why. You forget about this Memphis team led by Derrick Rose, Chris Douglas-Roberts, and coached by John Calipari. They were in a cupcake conference of their own in Conference USA, and they still couldn't go undefeated. And they were, a Mario Chalmers 3 away from winning a national championship.
Right.
So, I do think Wichita State's legit. But Bill Self even says himself that he thinks that they should have the number 1 seed, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Brett Coppenbarger, I like the point. Drawing a little comparison to a Memphis team who made it very far, like you said, very close to winning the title.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Don't call it a comeback, right? Isn't that what it is? Don't call it a comeback?
Point guard Raymond Felton was arrested Tuesday on gun charges. He appeared before Judge Diana Boyer later in the day before walking out of court after posting a $25,000 bond. Felton played in last night's game against Miami. McCullock, is this the biggest problem the Knicks have?
This is just one of many problems, one of a long laundry list of problems for this team. I think a big problem right now is that they can't win right now, and they have Carmelo Anthony who's putting up incredible all-star type numbers. So, I mean, with this and let's see, J.R. Smith, all his goonish problems.
Exactly.
I mean, the injuries, it just goes on and on. This is just one of many, and this isn't good by any means.
Yeah, I mean, the severity of this issue is really big. New York State is taking it very seriously.
Yeah,
as you remember,
as they should.
Plexico Burris ended up doing jail time. But I don't think this is the biggest problem for the Knicks. They have way too many problems. You have Carmelo Anthony, who puts up 62 points this season in a single game.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 28 points.
Yep.
You're still not winning.
Yeah. I think their biggest problem is that they're going to have to try and re-sign Carmelo Anthony. That's the issue.
Honestly, I say the biggest problem is your man-child, J.R. Smith, who gets fined $50,000 for untying a shoelace, and then a few days ago he goes ahead and he pulls on Vince Carter's headband.
Yeah.
I mean, man-child #1 problem.
Let's grow up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Matt here. Melo is their biggest problem. On the Raymond Felton subject, he shouldn't be allowed to play.
I agree
mean, the
with
Players
that.
Union, come on now. You don't put a gun in anybody's face, much less the face of your fiance.
Absolutely.
Anyways, yeah, Melo's a free agent. They don't have a plan because of all the bad contracts they have. Like you said, J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler, and don't forget Amari Stoudemire. He hasn't really done anything. They're not going to be able to do anything.
Bench player.
Wait,
I'm
who?
gonna pull from a classic.
Who?
I'm gonna pull from a classic poet here. Okay, I believe the great poet Jay-Z said it best. I got 99 problems, but Raymond Felton ain't one, and that is not one of their problems. I mean,
beautiful.
they haven't won an NBA championship since 1973. Their biggest problem that the Knicks have is that they're the Knicks. They don't have a front office. Their front office is a joke. They can't run a team. They don't play as a team, and they haven't won since 1973. I don't know what you want from them. I mean, that's
Hey,
the biggest market
that's
in the
probably the
country.
biggest problem is that they're the Knicks, and having Raymond Felton doesn't help. So they're the Knicks. Give it to Mason Prince here. We got a three-way tie for first, going to the last story in segment 1. After its Olympic hiatus, the National Hockey League is back at it. The schedule is jam-packed with games this week. Sandoval, what teams, players, whatever it may be, should people watch out for?
Okay, so the Detroit Red Wings have made the finals for 22 straight years in a row, and are they going to make it 23? I think barely by the skin of their fake teeth, because like hockey players lose their teeth.
Oh, I
and
like
stuff.
that. I see it.
Okay, tough crowd,
All right,
tough
bring it
crowd.
back.
Anyway, as far as the Stanley Cup Finals go, I think we're going to see a repeat of last year, except I believe that the Bruins will avenge their loss against the Blackhawks.
Okay.
Watch out for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm a firm believer you watch the best player in the sport anytime they play. Sid the Kid is the man. My favorite team's the Minnesota Wild. It'll be interesting to see how they play coming off the Olympics. They sent 5 different people. Zach Parise and Ryan Suter both played for the U.S. and played big minutes. they're coming off a 3-game winning streak going into the Olympic break, so watch out for the Minnesota Wild.
See, that's the thing about hockey. You don't have to have the best player on your team to be the best team. Sidney Crosby got his butt swept last year by the Bruins in the Eastern Conference Finals. The team to watch for is the San Jose Sharks out west. They're 4th in the NHL in goals allowed per game and 7th in scoring. They're great. Joe Thornton has 57 points. Watch out for them. I think they're going to be in the Western Conference Finals come June.
Wow.
Bold statement. You heard it here first.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about trades. Trade deadline coming up in a week for the NHL. One of the things that you need to watch out for is the New York Islanders. All right, Thomas Vanek declined a big contract to re-sign with the Islanders, which people are like, wait, what? Why would you do that? Well, okay, cool. So watch for them to get rid of dump some vets and maybe re-sign for the future, get some prospects. And then the dark horse, the New Jersey Devils, rather. Sorry. Why Corey Schneider? Why won't they win? Or why won't they do well like in the playoffs? They can't really score, so that's kind of an issue.
Well, we're giving this point to Kate Sandoval, pulling the city from my home state out. I got to give it to her because of that.
I've lost all respect.
What is that?
Wow.
What is that?
No.
Coming up, we take a look back at last year's Boston Marathon and what restrictions will be in place this year to make the event safer. Stick with us. Welcome back to the round table. Take a quick recap of the scores after segment 1. Kate Sandoval has 1 point. Mason Prince has 1 point. Brett Coppenbarger has 1 point. And Matt McCullock has 1 point. We're in a 4-way tie for first.
That's the point.
Let's keep it going.
The Bandwagon, brought to you by New York Pizza.
The company behind Duck Dynasty is taking their talents to college sports. Duck Commander and the Independence Bowl are teaming up. Title sponsorship now official. The bowl game we call the Duck Commander Independence Bowl. Coppenbarger, does this become the best bowl name out there?
Absolutely not. Is everyone forgetting the orange, the rose, the fiesta, and the
Idaho-
sugar bowl?
The famous
With
Idaho
the
Bowl.
cotton bowl and a close fit? Those are the coolest bowls. And Duck Dynasty, funny show, seen it a couple times, but I don't know. My idea, obviously, cereal bowl. Every fan gets a different kind of
I
cereal.
like that.
The best
the
bowl
toilet bowl?
is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, by far. It's great. I love that bowl. But the people love this family. It's going to be a good partnership. They're going to make a lot of money. Not that they already don't. So go ahead, Matt. Here you go. What?
Yeah, hey, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was my bowl.
Oh.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Come on, that is the coolest name ever. It's on the blue field over in Boise State. But the best bowl still remains the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Because you know where that's played? The Yankee Stadium in New York City.
Okay.
That's tight.
Okay,
That's
you guys,
awesome.
is it the coolest bowl game out there? Well, maybe if you're a camo-wearing, duck-slaying redneck.
That's
I
right.
think that the coolest bowl to go to next year is not in Louisiana. It's going to be in the Bahamas, where the Bahama Bowl is. And as far as the coolest bowl game you can go to now, well, it's definitely the Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh, okay.
she's got
So
the
now
best
we're all taking each other.
I don't know who to give this to, Matt or Kate.
That was good.
I mean,
I'm
you
wearing
both are pulling up.
pinstripes. I'm
Dude,
wearing
She's wearing.
pinstripes.
Give them both a point.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Kate and Matt both get a point.
Slide down the river. Come on, let's go. All right. Yeah. You never did that?
No.
Man,
Moving on. The Boston Athletic Association announced Wednesday that no bags will be allowed at this year's Boston Marathon. Prince, is this a good idea, and does it help to prevent attacks from happening like last year?
This event is really great. It's on Patriots Day, which is it's a Massachusetts state holiday. The Red Sox play a day game. The game lets out at the same time the marathon ends. The Red Sox players left last year right as the bomb went off, so they didn't know what was happening. I mean, they're taking very measurable steps to prevent this from happening, and I'm sure it'll be an emotional day for everyone when the race starts and finishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely one of the worst tragedies that could ever happen. I like what they're doing with the no bags, but it's kind of hard to say that it's going to really. There's always a possibility, and that's the only thing. I mean, it's a huge race. 50,000 or 500,000 spectators.
Wow.
They average 20,000 runners, and they average. I mean, that's just their average. They get within 30 and 40,000 participants each year. So it's such a big race. It's kind of hard to say, but I like it.
And it's such an important part of the city, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think whatever it takes to make the marathon safer, definitely go for it. I think what's kind of interesting to reflect back on this is, like, this was a huge tragedy that happened in sports, but we used sports to kind of become Boston strong. Like,
Absolutely.
who can forget when the fans all sang the national anthem? I mean,
At
when
the Bruins game?
And when David Ortiz got so worked up, he dropped the F-bomb, and then to go on, like the Beards, and then
they
win
won?
it all. I mean, I think
Gives me chills. I got chills.
Boston strong. It's
Right.
yeah.
I thought
I
it was
like it.
obvious that they weren't going to allow bags, but I'm glad they are. There's some crazy people in this world, so clearly, but it doesn't prevent everything that could happen. And you bring up this David Ortiz speech. I hope to see another one since there's going to be another Red Sox game. So David Ortiz, you know, I mean, you like him a little too much, but I mean, he gets me fired up.
Big Poppy.
Pay Poppy. Hashtag Pay Poppy.
I like the stats from Matt, but I also like the Boston Strong from Kate. Give them both another point again.
Hey, Mason, how's that feel, huh?
No.
I didn't even know that was allowed.
No.
Yes.
Not allowed.
We're sitting pretty right now.
Man.
We got this thing going. We got this.
We're sitting
Well,
pretty.
when we come back, a young superstar in Cleveland outshines the NBA's leading scorer, and Tiger Woods is back on the course. We'll tell you what event and where next. Welcome back to the round table. Quick recap of scores. Mason Prince and Brett Coppenbarger sitting a little behind with 1 point each. Kate Sandoval and Matt McCullock each with 3. And we still got 4 stories to go, so it's really anybody's game.
Quick Hits, brought to you by Sprout.
Our play of the week comes to us from Denver. On Tuesday, the Nuggets mascot Rocky the Mountain Lion during a halftime break hit a half-court shot over his head with his back towards the basket. Swish McCullock. How amazing was this shot?
That's pretty amazing. It was pretty cool, but I think that the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, should sign him, and especially if that 4-point play kind of comes into, gets passed, then hey, sign him because they're going to need some help because the Clippers are 23rd in the league in 3-point percentage. They're pretty atrocious right now.
If you've been to even one Thunder game, then you will have seen Rumble the Bison make this shot like 3 times during a media timeout. Seriously. But on a more serious note, I heard that Mitch Kupchak was working on trading Pau Gasol for Rocky, but the Nuggets ended up backing out when they realized Pau hasn't played with his back to the basket in years.
Yeah.
So.
She's got to get that point. She's got to
Do
get
you
that
even
point.
want to talk?
She's
Do
got
you guys even want to talk?
Chill out for a bit.
Yeah, like,
Sit the next few plays out.
Can we replay
But,
that? Reflect?
No ways to play of the week. Mascots make this all the time. And this Rocky, this Denver Nuggets mascot, he's a bold dude. A few years ago, he pied some fan in the face, and she was very
Y'all sleep with the
surprised and a
Raptors.
little bit flustered.
a little history lesson for all you folks at home and for all you people at the round table. Mason Prince once tried out to be Boomer for OU football games. I swear, I learned how to do a backflip with the helmet on, with the big Boomer head on. And
Why didn't you make it? Why'd you get cut?
Because I was
Coming next
redheaded.
week.
I was redheaded.
Let's
So-
give Kate Sandoval the point. Everybody agrees. That was a pretty easy.
No, Kate wins. Kate, that was good.
Moving on, speaking of the Oklahoma City Thunder, they fell to the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday at the Peak, 3rd straight loss. Cavs point guard Kyrie Irving led all players with 31 points. Thunder back at it tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. Sandoval, any sense of worry or panic for OKC?
I'm going to go ahead and wait to hit the panic button until after tonight's game, see how things are going. Westbrook finally played for 30 minutes, and it was the best game he's had coming off his injury. He put up, 24 points, 9 assists, and he made just under half his baskets. I think the Thunder are going to be okay, and not only that, but they just added Caron Butler to their lineup, so I think they're going to be okay. We're going to wait and see, but I think it'll be fine.
I agree with you, Kate. Very much so. And the problem with the Thunder has been defense. People try to put it on Russell Westbrook on his return, but no. It's about defense. They give up 42 points in the 4th quarter to the Cavaliers.
Okay, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think it's bad because they haven't really played well since Russ got back, but I think they're going to be okay. The Pacers got better, though, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
We're giving,
Okay,
Matt.
that's
Matt,
awesome.
we
No,
gotta
I don't
give
even
it
want
Matt.
to.
No, give it to Matt.
No, I don't want to.
Go.
No.
No.
I don't even want to.
No.
No,
No,
don't
no.
be. No, what?
No.
Okay. But yeah, don't be worried. I mean, they're just trying to mesh right now, trying to get, comfortable with Russell Westbrook back in the lineup. That's all I got to say. Whatever. It's all been said.
We're
Guys
giving
don't
the
even
point
care
to
about
Matt
me.
because they just said so. The World Cup takes over Rio this June, but there's already a buzz about the tourism and best views to catch as well as where to stay. Due to high prices, as Jay-Z would say, the favelas in Brazil are opening their doors. Coppenbarger, would you rather pay $400 a night for a bed at a hostel on the beach, perhaps even over $1,000, or pay $65 to stay in the shanty?
I would sleep on the floor if that meant I got to go to the World Cup. I'm crazy about this event, so much fun. I'm excited to see the USA team this year and new coach Jurgen Klinsmann, first World Cup as the U.S. coach. I'm excited.
I can't stay in the favelas. I'm too little. They'd probably beat me up. They'd be like, why does he look different? He has red hair. No, they'd beat me up. I can't do it. I'd pay a lot. I'd pay a lot.
Oh, no, I want to be on the beach. I want to wake up on the beach. And, hey, what do they say? Whenever you feel good, you play good.
Your
You play
SLG.
good, they pay good.
Your SLG game.
You know what? I'd rather just pay $1,000 and buy a brand new 3D TV and watch the action from my safe woman cave. My dad,
Woman
you
cave.
guys, I've seen Taken on Netflix before, and my dad doesn't have secret agent skills. I would definitely end up missing a kidney, cleaning some toilets in Rio.
Let's give it to Kate Sandoval, and we don't have time for the Honda Classic, so Kate Sandoval for the win.
Whoa, cool. Okay, I want to give a big hello to my grandma Ann. She just had her hip replaced and she's doing really, really well. I'm so glad you're doing great, Grandma. I want to say hello to my mom, Ruth Marie, who's in town this weekend taking care of her. I'm so glad you're here. She's actually in studio, seeing the action go down. Feels great to not even be a member of the round table and have the most wins on the round table.
Wow, Zach, you did
That's
this.
two.
You did
That's
this,
two,
Zach.
folks.
You did this.
I'm still
Hey,
0
you
for
guys
3.
talked for too
Or
long.
0
We
for
couldn't
4.
get to the last story.
No.
But that's all we have for the roundtable. Thanks again for joining us on another Friday edition. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Have a good night.
Underwriting for the roundtable is brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, New York Pizza and Pasta, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, located in Adams Residence Hall,